We're joined now by Michael Oren, the former Israeli ambassador to the U.S. Ambassador Oren, thanks for joining us here on Centerpoint once again.
Good to be with you, Joe. Thank you for having me.
We keep hearing, Michael, that Iran is behind the Houthis, yet the U.S. is not doing much about it other than shooting down Houthi missiles and drones. Why aren't the Americans taking a harder line with Iran? And if they did, what would that entail?
Well, I'm not a spokesman for the United States, certainly not a spokesman for the White House. Our impression here in Israel is that America is doing everything possible not to get dragged into a regional conflict, certainly not in an election year. But the message is going out that America is afraid, and the superpowers backing Iran, China and Russia, are not sending out that message of fear. And the fear here in Israel is that these expressions of concern by the United States are not going to avoid an escalation, but actually cause an escalation. Think about it. If you're an Iranian and you see the United States expressing fear, does that make you hesitate to escalate or make you more prone to escalate? What's going to happen with the Houthis? The Houthis, it's one thing to shoot down Houthi missiles and drones, and certainly we appreciate that in Israel. But if you don't take action against the Houthis, there's no price to be paid for shooting these missiles and launching these drones. What's to prevent Houthis from doing it with greater force in the future? And the answer, of course, is absolutely nothing. And so it's a very perilous position for Israel and America's allies in the Middle East to be in right now.
Israel is being attacked by Hezbollah on its border with Lebanon. You're advocating that Israel needs to strike Hezbollah first and hard to gain America's respect. Are you concerned, though, that this could create a northern front and wider war?
Well, it's already created. We didn't create it. Hezbollah created it. And my fear is that Hezbollah now, which is firing more rockets at Israel per day than Hamas has been doing, is going to wait until Israel is bogged down in Gaza, low on ammunition, to U.S.'s relations may be strained. Israel is increasingly isolated in the world. Then Hezbollah will unleash its arsenal of 150,000 rockets. And keep in mind that is a strategic threat to the state of Israel. That could take us down. And many of these rockets are very long range, very heavy and accurate cruise missiles. And we have a very hard time defending ourselves against that type of threat. I'm against, personally, enabling Hezbollah to take the initiative first. I think the initiative should retain with Israel. We should decide when and how we will defend our national existence.
Okay, so let me ask you this. Hezbollah is viewed as more powerful and better organized than Hamas. Why do you think Israel hitting them hard while it's already fighting Hamas to the south in Gaza is the right strategy?
Because we have no choice, because we're fighting a war of national survival. It's not just for our security. And again, the entire northern part of the country right now is uninhabited. Tens of thousands of Israelis have been removed from their home. They can't go back to their homes. Hezbollah have rockets that can hit every single city in the state of Israel and hit us hard, and also hit all our strategic infrastructure, our airports, our oil fields, our energy centers. That's an intolerable situation for any country in the world, Joe. Certainly for a country that is threatened with national annihilation. Hezbollah is it claims its goal quite openly all the time is to destroy us, just as Hamas' goal is destroy us. If we do not strike first, if we do not take the initiative, we will be in very perilous conditions indeed.
All right, Ambassador, one last question, 20 seconds or less if you can. Do you believe Israeli decision makers are hoping that a victory over Hamas will deter Hezbollah? And if so, when do you believe the victory will eventually come? Because it's been more than 3 months now.
Well, I believe they have that hope. I don't know if that hope can be justified. Again, the great fear is that we could win against Hamas, but our army will be exhausted, our ammunition will be low, and our international legitimacy will be greatly strained. My hope was that we would strike earlier when we have upwards of 360,000 reservists already called up and fighting. That would have been an ideal time to strike Hezbollah. It's not too late. At the end of the day, we're going to have to do this sooner or later, or Hezbollah is going to do it to us.
Ambassador Michael Oren, we appreciate you updating our viewers on this very important topic. God bless you and what you're doing over there. And we know that you're heading out right now, a funeral earlier for a 19-year-old female soldier. So our prayers are with her and her family and you as well. Thank you.
Thank you very much and bless you all.